So y'all, it's officially been 1 week, y'all, since I got my hands here on the Galaxy S22 Ultra, and there's one thing that annoys me with this device that I've personally been experiencing, y'all, and that is the what up squad, CKid here, y'all. And yes, it's been 1 week since I picked this phone up right here, y'all, and I went out, I even bought a separate SIM card strictly for this phone here, so that way I could fully test it out for you guys and give my opinion. Now, before we actually get into the nitty gritty and all of that right here, y'all already know the rules of the channel, man. Go ahead and comment down below how many likes is on this video at the time you guys are watching it, and let's go ahead and get this video to about 1,000 likes, and let's run these views up. Let's get it. All right, so the Galaxy S22 Ultra, y'all, let's see. Let's go ahead and start off with the camera. Yes, we jumping right on in there. Now, I recently just did a video, y'all, where I actually did a side-by-side comparison of the S22 Ultra versus the iPhone 13 Pro. And honestly, y'all, the results shocked me in a good way. And let me explain. So I can't front, y'all. I went into getting this phone here and just taking pictures with it with the pre-notion that the iPhone 13 Pro camera was gonna be superior, which, if I'm being honest, before I actually got this phone, it was. But when I tell y'all, when I started using the cameras on this phone here, y'all, I noticed 3 things that it does better than the iPhone 13 Pro in the camera department. Now, number 3 is the stabilization. Now, this phone here, y'all, is much more of a stable phone than the iPhone 13 Pro. Now, you can see it here for yourself just how much more stable the S22 Ultra is over the iPhone 13 Pro. And number 2 is the portrait mode, using that rear as well as the front facing camera. Now, looking at these photos here, you can just see how much better the portrait mode is on the S22 Ultra than the iPhone 13 Pro. To me, it's just much more cleaner. Now, I will say, with both of these devices, I still don't really like how it handles brown skin that much, with the color accuracy just being completely off. Now, this is something I feel that the Pixel 6 Pro really has just, they got it right. Hopefully, this is something that can be fixed in an update or next gen, but I will say this, y'all, when it comes to the selfie camera, they nailed it completely, y'all, with the focus as well as the edges using the portrait mode overall. I would just tweak the color accuracy a little bit, then they'd be in there. Now, number 3, y'all, is just the overall quality of photos is a lot better off of the phone. CKid, what do you mean off of the phone? See, listen, now for a long time, Samsung, y'all already know, has the best screens in the game, right? There's no debating that at all. Now, in the past, I always felt like this was actually used as a crutch for Samsung in the past to just not have the best photo and video quality, because the screens would look so good, you would never really know it until you removed it off of the phone. So with this phone, y'all, I'm happy to report, y'all, when I took these photos as well as the videos off of the phone onto my MacBook Pro, like, it looked so good. Now, when I would actually do this in the past, I always felt like the photos and videos would just fall apart. But this time around, y'all, I looked at these photos on my MacBook Pro, it still retained a lot of the crispy quality and just looks damn good, y'all. Easily making it IG worthy for your photos and your video quality for sure, which is a huge plus. So it's safe to say, when it comes to the overall camera on this phone here, y'all, they nailed it in my personal opinion. Now, the next thing that I got to talk about with you guys is the one thing that annoys me with this phone right here, y'all, that I've personally been experiencing that I don't really care for, and that is the facial recognition software. And honestly, y'all, it's so bad that I just decided to just unregister my face completely from the device and just use the fingerprint scanner on the phone instead. Now, it's just much more reliable for me, but for some reason, their camera sensors are just not calibrated or made for brown skinned people like myself. Now, if I'm in a semi-dark environment, it's like it can't read my face at all. Now, when I actually use the same feature on something like my iPhone, it works no problem in all lighting conditions. But for the S22 Ultra, the facial recognition for brown skinned people is just not the wave at all. So if you're a brown skinned person like myself, then just go with the fingerprint scanner route, because it's just going to save you a lot of headaches until Samsung improves this feature in the future. Now, the next thing we got to talk about is how well has this phone here been holding up for me in regards to the build quality. So believe it or not, y'all, I didn't order not one single case for this phone right here because I really wanted to test out the durability and just see how well this newer material here that they're using can actually last. Now, just so you guys know, I don't recommend you guys do this, because based off of the back materials on this phone, it is very, very slippery, y'all, and can easily fall out of your hands, and then there goes your $1,200 down the drain. So I do recommend some type of case for this phone right here, but I'm just the outlier and don't really care for cases that much, because I actually enjoy looking at what I just spent all of this money on daily and not covering it up with a case. But again, that's just me, so take that as you may. So far, y'all, the body as well as the screen on this phone has held up pretty good. I don't have any scratches or any damages to the screen or the phone at all. So I would actually say, if you guys are somebody that's like me and you tend to take care of your devices, then I think for the most part, you will be fine without a case on your phone. But again, you know, do that at your own risk. Now, the next thing I gotta get this phone flowers for that I'm personally enjoying is the display itself. Like, I know I've said this 1,000 amount of times in other Samsung videos about this, as well as the tablet too, but that's because I mean it, y'all. For the people out there that are like me, that are mainly iPhone users, I'm speaking to y'all right now, because the people that are watching this video that are Samsung users already know how fire their screens are. So iPhone peeps, listen closely. If you think Apple makes the best screens, I dare you to go to your local Best Buy, AT&T store, Verizon, or whatever you guys go look at your phones before you buy. Just look at the phone screen, y'all. I promise you it will change your entire perspective on what the bar is for a smartphone display. But for real, y'all, when it actually comes to watching content on here, whether being on IG or being on Twitter, it's a really smooth experience, y'all, and it just looks clean. Now, I also like how bright this display gets, which was a problem that I had with Samsung devices in the past when it actually came to the Note as well as the S series. So it's actually good to actually see here that the phone here's brightness makes it no problem to be able to see the phone screen in direct sunlight. Now, the next thing we got to talk about, y'all, is the use of this S Pen, y'all. Having the S Pen, y'all, is a godsend. So I use mine mainly for 3 different scenarios, right? Number 3, to snap selfie photos of myself, since it's a larger phone and sometimes hard to actually reach the volume buttons or the shutter button sometimes to be able to take a photo or record a video. So the S Pen, y'all, for that, definitely be coming in clutch. Number 2 thing I use it for is signing documents. Now lately, y'all, I've been in the process of refinancing my home, so that way I can actually convert this into an investment property, and plus take advantage of them crazy low interest rates. Now, having the S Pen, y'all, to sign a lot of those documents have come in clutch for sure. Plus, it saves me a whole lot of time versus having to print out paper then physically sign it. I'm all for the S Pen. And the number 1 thing that I like using the S Pen for is something that I mentioned in my tips and tricks video, which I'll go ahead and link that down in the description section below so you can watch it right after this video, is using the S Pen to text feature. Let me actually show you guys what this is. So as you guys can see right here, you can easily go to your Chrome search bar or even a text message and just write what you guys want to say or search for, and it will automatically convert that into text, which is super fire, because sometimes I don't really like typing on this phone all the time. So it's dope to actually have that feature to kind of switch it up. Now, the next one, y'all, is more of a subjective topic and something we got to talk about, and that is the battery life. Now, I be seeing people out there saying that they're not getting good battery life when it comes to this device, and I'll be like, what are y'all doing with y'all phones all day that the battery is not good on this device? In 2022, if your smartphone battery dying in 4 to 6 hours, that means you guys are on your phone too much and doing too much, and you need to get off your phone and live a little. But for real, y'all, when it comes to the S22 Ultra's battery life, I easily be getting a full day when I'm just out using my phone normally. And what I mean by normal use, y'all, is occasional phone calls, couple text messages here and there throughout the day, checking emails, checking my IG as well as my Twitter feed, responding to you guys' comments here on YouTube. But for the most part, y'all, my phone really be sitting down unless I really have a need to actually be on it like that. So battery life to me, y'all, I'm easily getting through my whole day, no problem. Especially I'm getting through an 8-hour workday for sure. Now, one feature I do like is being able to set your default icons to be able to match the colors within your wallpaper, which is a really dope feature in addition that they added to the S22 Ultra series. It's just an easy way to be able to customize the look of your phone without really having to do too much. And the last thing we gotta talk about, and I have to mention it, y'all, because I like to, you know, rap occasionally on this channel, and that is audio quality. Now, this phone here, now, if you have the speakers turned all the way up, which I don't recommend because it's gonna sound a little distorted and muffled, but if you guys are playing it, let's say you playing music around like 85% mark, that's gonna be the sweet spot for listening to music or movies, or just even watching YouTube videos like this. So all in all, audio quality is on point. Samsung, y'all, definitely came with it when it comes to this phone, and I'm excited to see all of the features as well as small improvements that they make in the near future.